Today is a very special day because we're going to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the death of Archbishop Hughes, who was the papal nuncio to Egypt. Archbishop Hughes, a former pupil of the White Fathers, the Bishops Waltham, and he progressed to one of the highest offices in the Catholic Church. And we're now looking at the cemetery at Bishops Waltham where he is buried.
Arthur Hughes, when he was 14 years old, had to leave school because he came from a poor family in the East End of London. But he had a brain, and after work he would go to the library and read almost anything. But his reading led him to the Catholic Church, and he became a convert. And as soon as he was converted, he felt he had a vocation to the priesthood. But he had no Latin, he had no French. He was sent by the Cardinal of Westminster down here to meet Father Travers. Father Travers was running this place as a school for French and English boys who wanted to become White Fathers. So Arthur was in a good place to learn his French. They say that he learnt it so well in a very short time, he could talk for an hour in French about cheese. The sense of humour was there, and he went on to the White Fathers' major seminary in Carthage in North Africa. All the courses were taught in Latin, but most of the daily life was in French. He got a reputation for punning in 3 languages and for misquoting scripture, and the superiors said, "We are not sure whether we want this man. He is too light-hearted." Well, thank God they kept him on. His first job was back here, teaching. He regarded it, he said, as exile from Africa. But after a few years in England, he was sent to Uganda. And they say that he arrived in Entebbe, not of course by plane in those days. We're talking about 1933. He'd have caught the boat to Mombasa and the train up from there. And his bishop said bonjour, and he answered him in the local language, Luganda. He had spent some time going to the School of African Studies in London, learnt the language. Spent a few years in Uganda looking after the Catholic schools, which included little bush schools in huts, right up to what is now Makerere University. Comes the war, and the Italian missionaries were suddenly undesirable aliens. He became, in all but name, the Bishop of Gulu in the north of Uganda.